Welcome to the mildly entertaining Funny Carpenter. Today we got a quick little video on how to make a shoe molding for your baseboards that doesn't look like a shoe molding. Now this is a super handy tip if you want to replace a carpeted floor with a vinyl plank floor and you don't want to pay a bunch of money to replace all your baseboards. This is the way to go. Yeah, so what I've done here is I've replaced this carpeted floor with a vinyl plank flooring. And as you can see, the baseboard is higher because when they install baseboard for carpet, they usually leave it about 3/8 to 1/2 inch off of the floor. And now with this 1/4 inch vinyl plank on here, there's a gap. So yeah, you could just rip off the baseboard, get a wider baseboard, slap it back on. But the cost adds up. I saved about $600 in the basement just leaving the baseboard on and putting a shoe molding on. Yeah, instead of just using the classic 1/4 round shoe molding that usually ends up sticking past your casings and just looking kind of like an add-on, never really blends together that nicely. What I've gone and done is I've bought some 1/2 inch material, some 1/2 inch primed MDF material. This stuff is 1/2 by 4.5 wide. And then I've just gone and ripped it on the table saw into these little strips. Now the strips are about 1/8 of an inch wide. And now all of a sudden when you butt into your casings, you're not going to be sticking past like the 1/4 round. And once you paint this all up, you'll never even know that there's a shoe molding on here. It'll just look like an extra little profile in the baseboard. So to fit this shoe molding nicely to the floor, I mean, it is pretty flexible and you can just push it down. But if you have some humps and dips and whatnot in your floor, I like to just tape it in place. Make sure that you're getting fairly parallel to what you're trying to install. And then I just take a little shim. I have a little box of shims. I take the right size shim and then I'll just trace a line on the bottom to cut to. So yeah, we're already getting a little bit of a dip there. So get yourself a nice line on there. And then just go ahead and sand. You can either sand that down, you can freehand rip it on the table saw. Use a belt sander. Yeah, these little sanding blocks are super handy for all kinds of things. If you want to make one of these for yourself, I'll put a link in the description. I made a quick little video on these beauties. So that's all fit nicely now. It's fitting perfectly down to the ground. It's parallel to this little reveal line here. So yeah, go ahead and nail that on. I'm going to use my 23 gauge pin nailer just because it leaves a nice clean mark. Hey, you can use whatever you want. You can use an 18 gauge nailer. You'll just have a little more filling to do on the nails. But yeah, the 23 gauge works nice. So just push it down as you go along. And there we go. Looks beautiful. So yeah, now you'd want to dap that top edge. Fill the little nail holes with some Drydex. When I paint the baseboards, I'll put some frog tape along the floor and the top edge, and then it just allows me to brush it quickly and I don't have to worry about cutting in and getting paint everywhere. Thanks so much for watching. Hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. We'll see you on the next video.